Welcome back to my channel, everybody. As you can tell, it's a tale of Luke's. And I'll start with this. This is the these are vintage Besbin Luke Skywalker figures that I have in my collection. I had this one since I was a kid. This is the blonde-haired Luke, and this is the dark-haired Luke. I didn't know this dark-haired Luke existed until like maybe a couple of years ago. I always knew there was a variation of the Han Solo. I just didn't know there was a variation of the Luke. So I have these two Besbin Lukes, and I was really happy to come across this Besbin Luke one time in a online auction sale. It was a bulk lot, so I got multiple figures, and this guy just happened to be in it. Then I kind of piecemealed the gun because he didn't have a gun and the lightsaber, and I was able to kind of get a complete figure. So I was really happy to get that Besbin figure. And of course, this is the farm boy Luke that goes with the Star Wars. This is the X-Wing Luke, right? He's got a little bit redder hair, but you can see his face is very similar to in between the farm boy and that one. So we always had those, and you know, they got this new face technology that's coming out. So the first figure that I saw this year that I thought had that face technology was this Luke Skywalker. It was the one where he's dressed up like a stormtrooper. And then this year, Walmart had the exclusive Jedi Knight Luke, which I thought was fantastic. The head and face on it was really good. I was really impressed with it. I really like this. Somebody told me that if you cut this off, this little panel in the front comes off, so he's got that same Jedi Knight Luke that the Jedi Luke has. The Luke Skywalker and Besbin outfit on card. I did find an Empire Strikes Back Retro Collection Luke Skywalker. So I'm going to open both of these up, and I'm going to go along with the rest of the figures, and I'm going to compare them to some of the originals. We're going to start with this retro figure. This is the retro Luke Skywalker. He looks really good. He's nice and shiny, and he's like pretty much brand new right out of the package. The thing I like is that he does come with his blaster, right, which is the right blaster, and he comes with this yellow lightsaber. Now the thing is, on my Luke here, I have this gun. I always thought this was the right gun for some reason, and I don't have his lightsaber. I never have his lightsaber either. But anyways, if you take a look at the two figures next to each other, it's pretty good. It's a really good likeness. Here's the key. The thing that I like to do is I like to try to fit there. This retro or this vintage figure holds the sword and holds the blaster fairly well. So if you wanted to swap out your blaster and sword and put it in one of your vintage figures, you could do that. That's what happened with the other phase of the retro figures. He does hold the lightsaber, and it stays in there pretty well. You know, if he was going to be doing like a lightsaber battle or something like that, it holds pretty well. And the gun holds pretty well. The other, if I put this in his hand, it's even worse, right? Like, so, but he does hold this sword very, very well. I'm very surprised. He does hold that. And the difference in the hand here is you can see that the retro one has a better grip than the vintage one. Has more of a straight hand, and he's got like more of a curved finger. But anyways, for the retro collection, going up against the vintage, I think they're pretty good. You can see the facial features in there. It looks pretty good. The hair is very, very yellow on the new one. I don't know if that's just aging on that other Luke or if it was actually just a different shade of yellow. I think it might have actually been a different shade of yellow. But, well, no, it looks like it could just be dirty now that I'm looking at it out of the light. But anyways, that's the retro figure. So here is the original Luke Skywalker. And here is the new 40th anniversary with the new face. And if you compare them side by side, I mean, there is a really big difference, right? one really looks like Mark Hamill and one just kind of looks like it. So this was actually like more of an artist interpretation, but this figure just looks fantastic. And you know, for a Black Series figure, he's going to have all the same articulation, all the right joints are in the right place. He's decked out very well. This just looks amazing, right? So if you look at it compared to what they did for the Return of the Jedi, these are really good likenesses. And I really do appreciate the upgrade they did on these figures. The only problem, now I have a Luke that doesn't look like Luke, and what do I do with him? So here's the problem that I have. I have two Lukes. What do I do with this one now that I have this one that has the awesome face sculpt on there, the photoreal face? Everything else looks fantastic. It's the same, except for this face really looks like the character. This one, artist rendition. And when is Farm Boy Luke going to get the same treatment? So both of these figures are moving up in my favorites just because of the face sculpt. Obviously, this one's going to take a more prominent place on the shelf along with some of the Besbin characters or the Empire Strikes Back characters. This one's probably going to move to the back of the shelf where this figure kind of has ended up over time. And I'll probably steal the weapons from my retro and give it to one of my vintage. But anyways, thanks for checking out my video. Hope you liked it. Give me a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. Check out some of my other videos. I've made some mods and stuff like that. These were stop motion G.I. Joe movies. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you come back and make sure you subscribe and tell a friend. Thanks a lot, everybody.